thought about packaging that you really, really hate? Like you buy something and you're like, yes, I have this new product, it's gonna be so great, and then you open the packaging and it's the worst. Today we're gonna talk about the worst packaging tag. I actually was watching this video recently. I saw it on a couple people's channels and I thought it was such a brilliant idea. Lately, I feel like companies, because the market is so saturated with so many different products, they are now trying to stand out by using different types of packaging and putting things out there that are a little bit different. Urban Decay is a great example of this. They always work with really unique packaging. So I thought I would do this tag because there is a great many feelings that I have about good and bad packaging and different reasons why. There are no tag questions per se, but I have actually split this into a few different categories. For example, breaking packaging, consistently breaking packaging, environmental reasons, functionality reasons. So I'm going to start to go through those. So if you are interested in some of this information, please keep watching. So my first category that I am going to talk about is wasteful packaging, so generally not environmentally friendly. The first palette I have is the Smashbox Masterclass, which this was actually in my palette recommendation tag, and I do recommend this. However, I think the packaging is incredibly, incredibly wasteful. These are what comes in the packaging. So outside of this, you don't actually need this huge box that comes with it. This is just an empty box. And I have taken these out and essentially recycled this box multiple times now. I've pulled it out of my recycling bin to do videos so you can actually see the outer casing. But this is totally wasteful to me. Plus this probably costs a lot of money. I don't know why they wouldn't have done something like Melt Cosmetics does, where they would just magnetize these together, because anybody that I know would likely be pulling these out of the package anyway and only using this portion of it. So, recycling bin again. Another example of really wasteful packaging is the Urban Decay Alice Through the Looking Glass palette from I believe last year or the year before. This came out when the movie was coming out. The reason that I feel like this is fairly wasteful is, don't get me wrong, it's beautiful packaging, it's totally unique. But, again, this is all you need. If they had just done this as a palette and put a cover over it, fine, perfect. This is it. This is the entire palette. So you have this entire box that has no usefulness whatsoever other than the fact that it's cool and it has this little butterfly thing in it. So other than a collector's item, this packaging is kind of pointless and again, could really just go in the recycling. They've put you in a position though where you have to keep this huge, humongous box because there's no cover over the eyeshadows. My second category is packaging that is just generically irritating. So the first two palettes I have in this, again, which were in my recommendation tag, are the Modern Renaissance and the Subculture palette. Actually, the Naked One palette should be here too. It is that velvety, really like furry feeling packaging. It gets so dirty. I don't want to worry about what's on my hands when I'm doing my makeup before I touch my palette. The Modern Renaissance looks cleaner than the Subculture does because the Subculture is darker and I've been touching it with foundation-y fingers. But like, look at it, it looks disgusting. So do my nails, ew. They just, like, this has stains on it over here, sorry. It's gross. I'm looking at my monitor to point out the stains, but just generally unfortunate. I feel like I always have to clean them, but I can't clean them because they're velvet. What am I supposed to clean them with? Round two in the generically annoying category are the bronze boosters from Physicians Formula. The reason I find these so irritating is because they're such a great product and you know, I really want to get my fingers in there, I want to get my brush in there. And this is as far open as it will go before it starts to do this. This is not helpful for me when I'm trying to put a brush in there. I don't want to fight with this flappy thing because it won't actually open all the way. So that's, I've never even noticed this before. The brush compartment in the mirror will totally open all the way, but the actual product will not. That is supremely, supremely annoying to me. The last palette I have in my collection that I find generically annoying is the Urban Decay, what is this called? Metal something, I can't remember. The reason I find this annoying is because it's basically a plate of eyeshadow with a mirror in the middle. This is not super helpful when I'm trying to do my makeup. Should I just be like, oh, let me dab my brush in while looking in the mirror and then I'm holding it? It's just weird. It's a very strange way to package something. And I'm always honestly afraid it's gonna just like slide out. It clips in, but I live in that fear. What if one day I get the clip breaks or something? Something can happen. I don't know. It's just not functional. The next category, I'm not sure what to call it because I also do just find them annoying, but it's annoying for a different reason. The first annoying category is generically annoying and just not functionally sound. This one is more annoying because I have to open it to see what it is. So this is packaging that all looks the same. Culprit number one, MAC lipsticks. They all look the same for the most part. There are some that are different. But unless I physically put them upside down, I don't know what shade I'm looking at. Do you know what shades these are? Because I don't. I have to take the caps off and I have to look. So this one is Impassioned. This one is Tempting. I don't want to do this at 5 o'clock in the morning when I'm getting ready. I just don't. Example number two is the Shiseido Luminizing Satin Eye Color Trio. There is absolutely nothing on here, except a black packaging. And if I had another one of these, I would be annoyed about it because I would have to open them to see which one it was. Culprit number three, and I'm so sorry because I love Sugar Pill, but if I'm looking at these quickly in my vanity, they look exactly the same. The back proves to me that they're not, but they look the same. So if I'm going to reach quickly to grab one, I don't know which is which. And the master queen of this category are Morphe palettes. These are 4 different palettes, but you would never know unless you look at their tiny code on the back, which doesn't really tell me anything other than a code. The next category is packaging that is too big for its own britches. Item number one is the Butter Bronzer and the Butter Blush. I'm putting these in the same category because this packaging is freaking massive. It's so thick, I find it totally unnecessary. People, we don't need this weird sponge thing in here. We just don't need it. Get rid of it. Make the packaging smaller. It doesn't fit in my compact holder. These make me crazy. I will say the Butter Highlight that they finally brought out is actually considerably smaller than these guys. It doesn't look it in the way I'm showing it, but this actually fits in the compact holder and these are not even close. Why are you so big? You don't need to be so big. Item number two is this Real Her blush. What is this? It's a blush kit. I knew it wasn't a blush palette. This came in BoxyCharm and I just feel like this packaging again is just way too big. Like, why are you so big? They are so far apart, there's so much extra space, and it's just cardboard. It's just crappy packaging. It makes me not even want to use it. It feels cheap, it looks cheap, and it's just so big. The last one in this category really chapped me. This is a good one. This is one of the Star Trek highlighters. The MAC packaging changed from this, which was kind of streamlined, not the most streamlined thing, but definitely smaller, to this gargantuan bubble. I'm pretty sure they changed the packaging so that they could put a mirror in it, but like, it's so big. And again, this doesn't fit anywhere. It drives me crazy. Why are you so big? The last and most irritating category is packaging that consistently breaks. I don't have an example of my first one that is broken because it hasn't broken yet, but example number one are the Stay Matte powders. The cap always breaks and they rarely stay on. Once it starts to crack, it's game over. This cannot go in your makeup bag because it will break and it will shatter powder everywhere. Number two is also a powder. Always. The little clips on here always break off the top of these True Matte mineral powders. It breaks off the mineral powders, it breaks off the regular True Matte powders, it breaks off the highlight. Anything with this package from L'Oreal, just no, this is gonna break. And I don't take my powders anywhere. They don't come anywhere with me. They stay at home in my vanity. They're not going rock climbing. There's no reason for this to be broken. The NYX Jumbo Eye Pencils. You want a broken cap? You just be sure to put the cap on it at any time, and it will start to split and break apart to the point where you can't use it anymore. My NYX Milk, my old one, this is a new one, so it's not broken yet. I also don't use it as much as I used to. It was shattered. The cap was destroyed. And again, this is not going rock climbing with me or on its own. Whoever makes the packaging for this Makeup Forever Camouflage palette, for anybody wondering, this is number 11, 13, 14, 15, and 17 of their concealers. I have 2 of these. They are both broken in exactly the same way. The lid breaks off them, and I don't know why. It just constantly breaks. This is my second one. They both broke within the same amount of time, 1 or 2 months of use, and it just pops right off. The last and final category has one product in it, and it is the category of absolute worst packaging on record ever. It is annoying, it breaks, gets the product everywhere. It is just the worst, which is unfortunate because the product is actually really great and very, very popular. And that is the RCMA No Color Powder. Whoever came up with this packaging, we need to talk. What are you supposed to do with this? You're supposed to just like... And now what? Now I've got it in my hand. Cool. You're supposed to put this on a palette? Let me get a powder brush. Oh, good. It's going everywhere. And now it's in my hand. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what your packaging woes are down below, and I will totally have deep discussions with you about it.